Hi, I'm Ann. Welcome to Quarry Farm Fridays with the Bluffton Public Library. We're here at the Quarry Farm Nature Preserve and Conservation Farm here in Pandora. And today we're going to talk about North America's only marsupial. Marsupials are animals that have a pouch. They carry their live young in a pouch, their babies in a pouch. And most people know the very famous marsupial, a kangaroo. And do we have kangaroos in Northwest Ohio? Not naturally. What we do have are Virginia opossums. They are an animal that a lot of people think look kind of like a rat, or they're scary, which I like rats, but I really like Virginia opossums. They are, unlike rats, their brains are very small, and they eat a lot of ticks, which we all know that ticks carry diseases. They're one of the things that carry Lyme disease. And anyway, we have a Virginia opossum here on the Quarry Farm. His name is Angus. And come here, Angus. Angus. Sorry. Angus is a reluctant educational ambassador. He is blind, which is why he lives here. He can't survive out in the wild. He's missing one eye altogether, and the other eye is blind. But as you can see, I don't know if Steve can get a close-up of him, but he's got these tiny little ears that look like shells. And you look at how they're twitching because he can hear very well. Obviously, since he's blind, he uses all of his other senses. He has a very good sense of smell, and he is clicking right now because he's nervous. But he has a very good sense of smell to help him get around and to find food. Now, we do feed Angus, but we get calls from people who have opossums in their yard, or they see them under their porch, or they run into them in their garage, and they get scared and they think, oh, this opossum's hanging out and I want to make it go away. Well, if you feed your animals outside, like if you feed cats outside or even the bird feeder, opossums will eat just about anything. They're omnivores like people. They'll eat anything. And they do have favorite foods like cat food. And hello, Angus. Hello. But if you have cat food out or a food source, they will stick around and eat it. And once that food is gone, they'll move along or sleep or just kind of do what they need to do throughout the day. They are feeding machines. As I said, they eat lots of ticks. And they're going to eat and then go look for more food. So if you don't want that opossum around, then just stop feeding your cats outside, or putting food out, or putting the garbage out. Make sure it's secure with the lid on, and they'll go away. But again, since they eat ticks, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't want to have that opossum around. They're very interesting animals. People will say they play dead. They actually aren't playing dead. Their brains are very, very small. And if they're overstimulated by fear or, shocked into some, or shocked or so forth, then they will actually pass out. One of our favorite stories is one night we heard one of the chickens carrying on, and we ran outside and we couldn't find why the chickens were so upset. And we walked around the yard, and we found this little opossum, a very young opossum, just laying in the yard. And we stared at it, and we thought it was dead. We thought maybe something had killed it. And we walked away, and we came back, and it was still looking really dead. And then we saw it blink. So we carried it to a different part of the yard and it was gone the next morning. So it went about its business, as opossums do. But as I said, if they want to, if they want to move along, they will, or if they don't have food, they'll move along and go someplace else. They are nomadic animals. Another misconception about opossums is that they hang by their tails. You see, well, you did see that Angus has a long tail, very powerful tail. Now that tail, you look, he's got it wrapped around my arm. It's very strong, but it's not strong enough to hang by their tails from a branch. That's just something you see in Disney movies. But he will hold on. It helps him balance. They have these little hands. They look a lot like people's hands. I don't know if he'll let me show you the bottom of his foot, but they've got fascinating little feet. Very padded, very clawed. I imagine I'll have a few scratches when I'm all done. Okay. But they do often sleep during the day. They come out at night. If you remember a couple of weeks ago, we saw Quinn. Quinn is a very nocturnal animal. She's asleep right now, Quinn the fox. Angus is also primarily nocturnal, and it's also hot right now. So he would be asleep right now in his little tower. But anyway, that is Angus, the Virginia opossum. And I hope you can come out here and join us sometime and meet Angus in person. If he's awake, we'll let you meet him. And maybe he'll actually be able to visit the library in person someday, as will you. So stop by the library, pick up some books that they've got set aside, or call them first and reserve your books. And you can read all about Virginia opossums and other animals. We'll see you next Friday. Thanks for joining us.